Seekers, I'm Nick. Ryzen 3000 is almost here, and at the time of filming this, we're about a week away. The truth is, if you're watching this in the future, it's probably well and truly out. Anyways, I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to show you guys how to install some new AM4 coolers that are coming out to kind of line up with the new Ryzen 3000 chips being launched. Deepcool sent over their brand new Gamerstorm Castle 360EX all-in-one water cooler, and they announced that and they showed that off at Computex this year. Well, I'm going to show you how to install the 360EX and get it up and running. Let's do it. Before we begin, I just want to make this super clear. This video is for demonstration purposes only. It's not a review. Every system, every motherboard, every case, every type of fan placement, and every setup is different. This guide is to give you the fundamental idea of how to install the Deepcool Gamerstorm Castle 360EX AIO on AMD's AM4 platform. We're not showing how to install it on Intel sockets in this video. That version will come shortly after this one, so make sure you watch the entire video before you answer, or rather ask any questions, because chances are I'm gonna answer all those inevitable questions in this video anyways. Anyway, let's answer some of those questions right off the bat. The motherboard in this video is the Gigabyte X570 Aorus Master. The CPU is the Ryzen 5 2600 and the case is the Lian Li Landcool 1 Digital. These parts were chosen purely for demonstration purposes, not for the purposes of it being a good and balanced system. Yes, the installation instructions are the same as the 240EX. Yes, the fan placement in this video is correct for this setup. It depends on your case and it depends on your clearances and all that other stuff. Yes, it's RGB. No, it does not come with RGB fans, but you can install RGB fans on it if you want to. Yes, you can put whatever fans you want on it. Yes, everything you're seeing in this video for installation is included in the box. Yes, it will work with almost every AMD AM4 CPU and motherboard combo you're going to ask about in the comment section, and from the launch of Ryzen all the way up to the foreseeable future. Yes, it will work with AuraSync, Mystic Light, RGB Fusion, and Polychrome RGB. Yes, this cooler works with AMD Threadripper CPUs, but we're not covering it in this video. Yes, it's addressable RGB. No, you will not need to apply thermal paste if you're installing this fresh out of the box. Yes, the thermal paste is pre-applied. Now that's out of the way, let's take a quick look what's in the box and show you everything you're going to need to install this on an AMD AM4 motherboard and all that jazz. So yeah, enough talking, because I think I've done enough of that. Let's show you how it's done. First things first, let's see what you get in the box with the Castle 360EX. Alright, let's open it up and see where we got inside. Alrighty, now the first thing you'll notice is basically everything. Now the first box on your right hand side has all of the mounting hardware and all the mounting gear for every socket, and you'll also notice 3 other white boxes, and they're the fans that you use to mount to the radiator. Alright, let's take a closer look at those fans. These 3 fans have a pretty individual design, some of which you may not have seen before, but let's move on. Okay, let's take a look at all of the mounting gear. Now this is for mounting for every single socket you can possibly imagine. Alright, let's take a look at that installation manual. We'll address that from the beginning because, yeah, we're not going to be using this at all because this video is an installation guide. So let's get rid of that. Alright, now this is all of the wiring that we're going to be using to install this cooler on your motherboard. Okay, this is the inline RGB controller. One end has SATA power connector and the other has an addressable RGB connector for the cooler. Now this is an adapter cable if your motherboard has addressable RGB, which is the 3-pin RGB. This is used to pass it through and connect it straight to your motherboard. There's also a 3-way PWM fan splitter. This is used to spin the fans and power them so they actually cool your system. This is a little blanking plate just in case you wanted to not have the Gamerstorm logo on the front of your AIO. This is a nice little thing, yeah, just to remove branding and make your build a little bit cleaner. And this right here is a backing plate, and you'll notice that this says AMD on the front of this backing plate. Well, I'll tell you what folks, you won't be using this for this type of installation. And if you flip it over as well, you'll notice it says Intel. It will actually show you which ones to use if you were to use this on an Intel socket, but this is not what this guide's about. And that being said as well, this is the rest of the Intel mounting hardware, which we will not be addressing in this video. There's a Gamerstorm badge, which is quite nice and quite premium. Next up is all of the AMD mounting hardware, most of which we'll be using. Also includes TR4 mounting, which we will not be using in this installation video. There's 4 bolts that connect to the backplate for other types of AMD installations for like older sockets and Intel stuff, as well as these 4 thumb nuts which are used for every type of installation for this cooler for all sockets. There's also 4 screws to fasten the brackets to the cooler itself, which we will be using for this installation, and these 4 little retention clips that will stop the bolts from sliding out once you put it in the backplate, which we will not be using. Now this is all of what we'll be using to install this for AM4. As you can notice, it's not a lot. It's very straightforward to do this installation. Okay, let's start the installation off. Locate 4 of these bolts / nuts, and what we're going to do is actually remove the standard retention system for the AM4 socket, and in this case it's on the X570 Aorus Master, and just take out the 4 corner screws just like so. And what you want to do is remove that clip and replace it in each corner with the thumb nuts / thumb bolts. And yeah, let's just speed it up a little bit and then continue the installation guide. Once your corners are all fastened and ready to go, the next thing you want to locate is these brackets. Now these brackets are for AM4 and TR4, but we're only going to be doing AM4. What you want to do is very carefully, without touching the thermal paste, remove the protective plastic from the bottom of the cooler. What you want to do is locate the 4 screws, the ones that fasten the brackets to the cooler, and you'll notice that you can actually align these brackets on any side of the cooler. We're going to do it this way for this installation guide, and all you need to do is fasten the screws in. And the side that you'll want to be fastening down is the side that actually has little holes and recesses for the screws to fit in flush. Now just rinse and repeat that process for every single corner until you've got your bracket installed, just like this. You'll need to locate 12 of these screws, yes, 12 of them. These mount the fans to the radiator. And what we're going to do in this installation, like I mentioned right at the start of the video, every single case and every single mounting is different for everybody's system. In this case, for this installation, this is how we're mounting it. So yeah, let's speed it up so you can get an idea of what to do. So yeah, all you want to do is get your screwdriver and the screws and fasten them to each corner of the fan. It is very straightforward. Okay, once you finish with that, we're going to do something that's going to make your life a little bit easier later down the track. Locate the PWM fan splitter, and what we're going to do is plug it in so it's out of the way and done before we put the cooler in. Locate the end that plugs into your motherboard and plug it into the CPU fan header. This might be labeled something slightly differently on your board, but yes, CPU fan header is what you want to plug it into. Once you plug it in, pass the rest of the cable through to the back of your case for easy cable management when we get closer to the end. Right, now place the radiator into a place that's going to fit in your case. In this case, which is the LandCool 1 Digital, it will fit in the front. And yeah, just pull the cables through so all of the fan cables are at the back for later connection and easy cable management. Locate 12 of these screws, and these screws actually allow us to fasten the radiator to the front of this case. Very straightforward. So yeah, let's speed it up so you don't have to hear me talk for a couple seconds. Once you're done fastening the radiator to the case, you want to locate 4 of these thumb nuts. This fastens the cooler to the mounting system. Okay, what you want to do is gently line it up and gently place the cooler above the bolts and fasten opposing corners, just like so. Let's change the angle so you guys can get a better idea of how this all comes together. Right, pretty straightforward stuff, right? Okay, moving on. What we're going to do is we're going to plug in the power so it actually pumps the fluid through the AIO. Now, this here is the connector. It is a 3-pin connector. It plugs into the CPU opt or water pump connector or CPU water or AIO header, whatever it's called on your motherboard. It plugs into a 4-pin header, although it's only a 3-pin connector. Don't worry, it's going to work. Plug it in just like that and away we go. What you want to do is get the other cable, which is for lighting, and pass it through to the back so we can connect it up to the RGB controller when we get around to that step. Now the next thing we're going to do is plug in the 3 fans. So locate your splitter, which we plugged in a little bit earlier, and locate the 3 fan power connectors, which we pulled through to the back of the case when we installed the radiator, and it's just a matter of plugging them in so it gets power. Nice and straightforward. Now, I'll be honest with you, this is one of the easier AIOs to install. In fact, I think it might even be the easiest out of the lot. Okay, once we've done that, we've actually done everything to make this work in your system. Now we're going to talk about 2 ways to connect up the RGB. This way is with the inline RGB controller. This controller is handy if you don't have addressable RGB, in case you're installing it in an older system. It's got 2 connectors on it. One end is the lighting connector and the other end is the SATA power connector. Both of these need to be plugged in for this to operate correctly. Now we're going to plug in the lighting connector. It's very straightforward. It only goes in one way. Don't worry guys, you can't mess this up. Plug it in. Nice and easy. It makes a little clipping sound, and what you want to do is then connect up the SATA power connector to a free SATA power cable on your power supply. And that's it. The inline RGB controller is connected. It's very straightforward, and you can press the buttons on the controller to configure all of the lighting. Now this is the second option for lighting. What you want to do is use this adapter cable. It's got addressable RGB for older gigabyte motherboards, which they've now removed, and regular 3-pin addressable RGB as well. It is very, very straightforward to do it this way, and I recommend this way if you've got a newer motherboard. All you need to do is locate the lighting connector from the pump of the AIO and plug it into the only end that plugs into the adapter cable, and then on your motherboard locate an addressable 3-pin RGB header right like this, and then plug it in to the other end of the cable. Pretty straightforward. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, the Deepcool Gamerstorm 360EX is now installed. If it all worked, it should look a little something like this. I think I covered pretty much everything in this video. If you've got any questions, feel free to head on over to our Discord or drop a comment down below. But make sure you read the comment section, because myself or someone else would have probably already answered the question that you're going to ask. Yeah, so please take that into consideration before asking a question, because yeah, like I said, I probably already answered it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, you know what to do. Tell us what you hated about it. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. I'm your boy Nick with Gear Seekers. You peak. We seek, and yeah, hopefully we made your installation a little bit easier. Yeah, that's what we do around here. We like to help you guys out. Thanks for watching.